Unless you've been living under a rock lately, you've seen one of these. They're called fidget spinners. And if you have been living under a rock, that's weird, but I respect your life choices. These have become a whole thing lately, with everything from little plastic kids' gizmos to really high-end, well-designed, expensive ones worth hundreds of dollars. People do tricks with them, they have contests to see whose will spin the longest. There are entire YouTube channels devoted to unboxing and reviewing these things. They're popular because they're fun, obviously, but it also just happens to coincide with some research that suggests that fidgeting could make you smarter. So before I get into the nerd stuff, this video is actually a collaboration with my buddy Greg over at Greg's Garage. He actually designed this spinner, this one right here, and he's got a video where he shows how he designed it. Go check it out. But he also worked with Tom over at Tom's Toolbox, who's a machinist. He's the one who actually built this thing. So if you want to check out how this thing got built, there's another video at Tom's Toolbox you can check out right here. So that's kind of makes this a three-way collaboration. Best three-way joke in the comments, please. And if you want to win this spinner, yes, this spinner right here that I'm holding in my hand, stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you how you can win it with a nice little note from me. Okay, way back at the beginning of this channel, I did a video about my big, long, convoluted process of eating sunflower seeds. The channel used to be a little different back then. But in that video, I said this. The point of eating sunflower seeds is to occupy your mind. It's an oral fixation, and yes, I giggle at that as much as you do. But when you eat sunflower seeds, what I've always said is it like occupies the part of your mind that wants to wander off and think about other things so that you can sit there and focus purely on what you're trying to do. Now, when I said that, that was just like my opinion, man. I didn't do any research to back that up. That was just kind of a theory that I had. But then as I was doing research on fidgeting for this video, I found out that actually, I totally nailed it. At least according to the authors of the book Fidget to Focus. In that book, they actually make the argument that our human brains are hardwired to not be very easy to focus. There's an evolutionary explanation. Back in caveman times, if you were, way too focused on putting together a wicker basket or something like that, it would be really easy for a cougar or some predator to sneak up behind you. So those people that were more distracted by all the things around them were the people that survived and then passed those genes on to other generations and so on and so forth. And it makes sense when you think about it. I mean, seriously, go out your front door and look. You see any squirrels and birds like intensely focused on anything? No, their attention's all over the place. They're constantly looking around, sniffing the air, being distracted by any tiny noise. I mean, seriously, is there any animal that isn't easily distracted? The point is, focusing is a very unnatural act. It's something only we humans can do, and we don't do it very well. So the theory is that we fidget because it's a way of occupying that animal brain that's constantly on the lookout for dangers. This is also why fidgeting reduces stress levels, especially on kids with autism or ADHD. So a lot of schools are starting to actually embrace fidgeting as a way to help kids learn. They provide desks with little footstools that allow them to fidget their feet and little tactile sensory surfaces around the desk that allow them to move around while they learn. Other research that's backed up this conclusion is research into flow states. The flow state is basically when you're in the zone, when your brain's firing on all cylinders and the greatest insights come to you. We've all been there, a problem you've been dealing with for days, you just can't quite nail down the solution, and then one day you're in the shower and just boom, revelation. Right when you can't possibly document it in any way, shape, or form. Flow states are often triggered by repetitive motions, just mindless, repetitive things that we do. We've done it a million times, we don't even have to think about it. Things like showering or mowing the lawn or walking the dog. Walking the dog, by the way, is my go-to action when I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to make one of these videos. Researchers once believed that these superpowered moments of thought were spurred on by more activity going on in the brain, but then once they started really looking into it, it turns out not so much. By performing fMRI brain scans of people who are in flow states, they found out that actually the opposite is true. In a flow state, large chunks of your brain just shut off. And it's that clarity that allows those brilliant ideas to shine through. So by focusing all those chattering voices in your head by fidgeting, that voice with the great idea can finally be heard. In this same way, some studies have shown that information retention is actually higher when people are fidgeting. Fidgeting has also been shown to burn calories. Now, you're not gonna get skinny doing it or anything like that, but considering how sedentary our lives have become in school and workplaces and stuff like that, it's a nice little bit of motion in an otherwise very sedentary day. So, can fidgeting make you smarter? Well, the jury's still out on that. Now all the stuff I'm talking about here has just been preliminary research that's been done on kids with ADHD and autism, so whether or not this provides the same benefit for a normal functioning adult, it's still too early to say. But it does coincide with our current understanding of the brain and how it works. Basically, if it feels right and it helps you to focus and think more clearly, have at it. But if you're in the middle of the woods and a cougar might be sneaking up behind you, I suggest you put the spinner away. So a big shout out to Greg over at Greg's Garage for designing this thing. It's actually been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed having it around, and it's been fun watching him settle on this design. He's been working on this for a while. His first one that he did was actually this, which he shared with me. It's a little wooden one that he was able to carve out. It doesn't spin as well as the others, but it was a prototype and it got things started. He actually had this other one. This is more of an aluminum one that works pretty well. It's a lot lighter. But this is the one that he settled on, and now they've machined it and it's worked out and everything. And you know what? Even if you don't like spinners, it makes a great bow tie. In fact, check this out. How long do you think this spinner will spin? I want to hear your guess in the comments, and if you want to enter to win this spinner and find out exactly how long this thing does spin, go to answerswithjoe.com/spinner, enter your email address, and you can be entered for a chance to win this spinner. I will pick the winner on June 1st. And while you're at it, I've got the videos that Tom and Greg both did on how they made this thing, so you can watch both of those there. It's super cool stuff. So share in the comments, what is your favorite fidget toy, or are you somebody who actually sits still? Weirdo. Special shout out to my answer files on Patreon. You can join the awesomeness and get access to my secret blog at patreon.com/answerswithjoe. Once again, that is answerswithjoe.com/spinner. You can go there and check that out. Like, comment, and subscribe on all this video happiness, and go out there and have an eye-opening week. And I will see you next time. Love you guys. Take care.